would say the most interesting part, which is the templates. So if you want to create augmented reality using any other software in this world, it's going to take a lot of effort. You got to be able to like do all the technical part of it. However, Lens Studio, by using Lens Studio, you don't have to actually do any of those technical parts because everything has been created for you, which means it's as easy as you clicking on these templates and then just go tweak this and that. As soon as after you have finished tweaking, you can just publish it and you will be sharing your lenses with your friends. So you can see here, my lenses is basically lenses that you have posted. Open project is basically whenever you save a project, you can definitely open the project again. And new project, new project is obviously the one that you could use every single time whenever you want to create a new project, unless if you are a bit like not that great in terms of technical, no worries, since you can always go to the templates and just get it done. So in this case, I'm going to just click on the new project because I want to show you the dashboard and how it looks like. So let's click on it. So here we can see the dashboard. So if you look at the bottom left part, it's called as resource panel. So the resource panel is basically where you import all your assets. So for instance, if you have a 2D image or a 3D model or maybe 3D animation, you might even have an audio or even a video. Whatever assets that you have, you can definitely import it here. And it's as easy as just clicking on add new, import files. Alright. While the best part about Lens Studio is the Giphy part, which means they do have a plugin that has been integrated into the software. And when you click on Giphy, you can definitely look for any stickers that has been hosted on Giphy. This means if I'm going to click on snow, I'll be definitely getting all the GIFs that has been hosted on Giphy over here. This makes my lens creations easy as ABC because of the fact that I don't have to import every single time. While if you look at the top part, it's called as object panel. So object panel is basically where you create your augmented reality experience. So normally whenever you create a new project, you should not adjust any of these things and just let it be the way it is. All right. And definitely if you want to create more stuff on object, using what you call augmented, if you want to create augmented reality experiences, here object panel is the platform, is the place where you gotta create it. And the way to do it is just by clicking add new, and then you can see there's audio effect, there's liquify, particles. You can create a post effect, which means like filters, right? And then you can even create meshes. Meshes means 3D objects, right? So obviously you can create 3D objects in Lens Studio itself. You can even change eye color. So these are interesting parts of Lens Studio where you can just import, where you can just add a new image or a new object into the panel. As soon as after you add, you can definitely tweak it a bit and you can just publish it, right? Here in the middle, you can see that it's basically the 3D space. This is where you will see how it really looks like whenever you want to create an augmented reality experience. Obviously, this is where you create your face lens as well as your world lens. So there are two types of lenses. The first one is known as face lenses. The second one is known as world lenses. Face lenses is always being used whenever you want to express something, while world lenses is being used whenever someone wants to create a new experience by going into a particular portal or maybe just panning around, things like that. Now, inspector panel. I hope you remember the tweaking part, right? So here's the thing. Whenever you click on any of these objects over here, you can actually do some adjustments. And the way to do it is by going to the inspector panel. And transform, you have light source. Even if you want to add, for instance, let's add maybe eye color, right? So if I'm going to click on eye color, you can definitely see I can actually have all the settings over here, and I could definitely change the eye color to something that I want, and then click on OK, and you can see by increasing the alpha, you can see the color is changing, right? Can you see that over here? So that is basically the purpose of inspector panel. It is being used for you to tweak the settings. Now let's look at the preview panel. Preview panel is basically where you will see how it looks like on a particular face or a real environment. So obviously you can change the images over here. You will have few different people who have been like their faces has been uploaded here, but not to worry, because you can definitely add your face as well, maybe a video of your face so that it's easier for you to actually look at, and you will know how exactly it looks like on your face. Now, here is the webcam mode. When you click on webcam mode, you will be trying those lenses on your face in real time, and that's like one of the perks of actually using Lens Studio, because it's kind of hard to actually know how it looks like on your face when you're creating over here in the 3D space, right? Just because of the fact that we have webcam, it's real time and we can see whether it suits us or not. Now here is basically how to actually make sure that you put a back camera or a front camera. So if you want to create a face lens, you use a front camera. When you click on this, it will be a back camera. That's when you are creating a world lens. All right. Obviously, here is the place where you're going to change all the settings for your preview, which means if you are using iPhone 10 or iPhone 8, even if you don't have an iPhone, you are using without simulation, right? You can click any of this and you will see some differences in terms of how it looks like on a phone, or maybe without having any specific in terms of phone, you can just click on without simulation and it will just look like a normal vertical video. All right. Here's the thing where you can actually mute. You can definitely mute the audio whenever you add an audio. You can definitely screen record this thing as well as capture a screenshot. So if you want to really share with your friends, or maybe you are working on a project and you want to share a video on how it looks like, definitely click on this and then just export it as MP4 and just share it with your friends. Now, logger is basically whenever you create a lens, the logger will actually inform you whether you are creating in the right way or the wrong way. So whenever you have some bugs, or maybe sometimes you will have some problems in terms of importing objects into the resource panel, right? Or maybe you want to import from resource panel to the object panel and then you want to like see whether it works or not, right? The logger will actually tell you what is the problem. So that is like a very helpful thing. And but then not to sweat too much on this, cause obviously whenever you create an augmented reality experience here, you will definitely see whether it works or not by looking at the preview panel itself. So logger is just basically to make sure it's like complete as a software. All right. Now you have project info as well as lens size. So to make it even for everyone, your lens must be below 4 MB, which means every single time whenever you create a lens on Lens Studio, you shouldn't go above 4 MB. This is because if you create more than 4 MB, it might lag on your phone because it consumes a lot of RAM. So whenever it consumes a lot of RAM, your smartphone battery will just be like draining, right? So to avoid that, we make sure that the we make sure that the lenses that are created using Lens Studio doesn't exceed 4 MB. And you can definitely update this time to time to see what the status like. And here's the part where you can actually know how to optimize by, sometimes you might create a very small one, but then just because you added an audio, the file becomes huge. So you can actually click on optimizing performance and you will know how to optimize it so that it's lesser than 4 MB. When you look at project info now, project info is how you're gonna publish to the world, because everyone is gonna look at your lens preview, is gonna look at your lens icon as well as your lens name. So for you to make it accessible for everyone, you need to change your lens name. Obviously, you gotta add a lens preview. Lens preview is basically how do you think people will look at your lens. So as soon as after they look at your lens preview, they will know this is exactly how the lens work. And you do have a lens icon as well. This is just to make it nice, and whenever it comes as a snap code, people can actually scan that code easily. And you can obviously put a hint, because you can see there are plenty of hints that you could put so that people are well informed that this is exactly how they should use the lens. Once you have created a lens, you can just go to publish lens, and as soon as after you click publish lens, if this is the first time you are creating lenses on Lens Studio, you will have a login page. I don't think I will have it now. See, so I don't have it, but you will definitely have a login page. So make sure you have a Snapchat account and then click on community lens, and you can definitely go and post it. All right. So that's all for this video. I'll be seeing you in the next video.